come back to talk a little Titans. We're up to episode 9? No, 10. Episode 10. We got 3 more to go. This was, I mean, I don't want to use the term filler episode, but I mean, it kind of was. I mean, like, that Nightwing slow burn. Like, that's that Nightwing slow burn. So, in the last episode, Atonement, it ended with Dick going to prison. And the theories, I mean, the theories could still be true. The theories of whether or not Jericho jumped into his body and made him beat up the police to put him in jail, it doesn't seem like that was the case in this episode, because Dick actually went to prison. It seemed like it was him, like it was his own consciousness. Like, he wasn't even questioning, why he was in prison. He was just kind of like going with it. He's like, I deserve to be here. It didn't seem like Jericho was talking for him, because I don't know why Jericho would take over his body and actually have him stay in prison. So so I guess that debunks all of those theories. So Dick's in prison. While he's in prison, he's just trying to keep to himself. There was this weird police officer who looked him up, because I'm like, he's Dick Grayson, like he's the ward of Bruce Wayne, so it's not like you're not gonna know who he is. The guy looked him up, but he recognized him from being a cop, because remember in season 1 he was a police officer until he just randomly quit his job and moved to San Francisco. So he tried to give him special treatment. He was just like, he wanted to put him in a special cell, because he was like, listen, you're an officer, you had the badge. The guys in here, like, they'll mess with you because you were a cop. So he tried to look out for him, and Dick was like, nah, don't give me no special treatment. Just put me just put me with everybody else. And for some reason, the cop kind of took offense to it. It was almost like he was butthurt over the fact that Dick didn't want to, take a private cell, which is very odd. So then he ended up moving him to like what he thought was one of the worst cells. There's like these three Spanish dudes. Dick was the 4th person, so he put him up in the bunk, and they were kind of like, why you put the pig in our room, but Dick, like, he threw his bags up, and he was just like, look, I just want to do my time. And cause I think he was in for a while. I think he was in for like 10 years or something like that. So he's outside, he's working out, and while he's outside, he sees like his roommates. They're eyeing like security patterns. They're checking out when the officers come to certain places and when they leave certain places. They're looking at the trucks coming in and out. And then Dick, Dick's not stupid. I mean, he was trained by Batman, so he's like, these guys are trying to break out. But he doesn't say anything. He kind of like keeps to himself. And then like later on when they're in the room, he tells them, he's just like, if y'all trying to break out, it's not gonna work. And then they're just like, what do you know? What do you know, SA and blah blah. So they didn't listen, and Dick went on about his business, started pumping iron, working out. There was a rival gang, because when Dick was walking around the hall, like, his roommates got rolled up on by another gang. They know that Dick's a police officer, so they told his roommates, they were just like, listen, kill the cop, or else we're gonna kill you. So Dick knows that. So in his mind, he's like, all right, any second now, these guys are going to try to roll up on me and try to kill me. He's in his room. He's in his room with them. Nobody tries to kill him. He goes to sleep. One of the guys wakes him up, like hems him up against the wall. And the guy tells him, he's like, listen, we could have killed you. We were supposed to kill you, but we're not like that. It turns out that these aren't really bad guys. They're guys that don't want to get deported. Like, they don't want to get like sent back to their country, but they're also not like they're not killers. They're not. He told him, he's like, we're not murderers. Like, they were men of God. Like, they were they were peaceful. They were peaceful dudes. They're just trying to stick together and survive in prison long enough for them to make their escape. So that was kind of cool. Like, they didn't go with the typical like, Holmes. Like, there was like, these are actually like really good dudes. So they further have a conversation. Dick's talking to them about how like the plan's not gonna work because there's not enough of y'all. One of the other roommates, he's like drawing this picture on his wall, and then he's just like, that's like. He was telling Dick the story. He was like, this bird is the bird that will, it swoops in and it saves us when you need him the most. And then Dick's just like, a bird comes in and protects you and saves you. He's like, yeah, he'll be there for us when we need him the most. You look at the bird, and it's the damn Nightwing bird. So, so it's just like I said, that slow burn, like that Nightwing slow burn. And, they described the bird as, like a force that, again, they said it's going to swoop in and protect people, swoop in and save people. So obviously now, like, the Nightwing wheels are starting to turn in Dick's mind. So later on, because they didn't kill him, the rival gang stabbed, because there were 3 of them. They said it was Dick, and there was like the 3 Spanish guys. There was the oldest of the 2. I think that was their uncle or whatever. The rival gang stabbed him in the neck and killed him. So then the other two, they were just trying to like, they were just like, yo, we got to get out of here. Like, we got to, otherwise we'll be next, like they'll kill us next. And then Dick was like, yo, it ain't gonna work. And then the kid kept telling him, he was like, the bird will protect us. I forgot the name of the bird. He's like, the bird will protect us. Don't worry about us. The bird will protect us. And then Dick was just like, yeah, maybe the bird will. So he had a change of heart. The two guys end up, getting transported because after their uncle died, I guess they were just like, yo, we got to deport these guys like now before anybody else gets killed. So the two kids ended up fighting the security, the corrections officers. They tried to make an escape. There were too many corrections officers. They started beating the guys up. And then Dick comes out of nowhere, for the save, for the Nightwing save. Like, the bird swoops in. And Dick allowed them to get into the truck and drive off. He stayed behind. And then the corrections officers beat his ass. And then Dick paid the price for helping some people out. But, when you're a hero, that's what you got to do. And that's where they left it with Dick. Like, they left him with with him getting his ass beat, by the corrections officer. So, but again, like, they done teased the bird thing. They done teased the logo. He's helping people now. Like, he went from just leave me alone and let me do my time to he's actually trying to help, people. So again, there's 3 episodes left, so he got to put the damn costume on at some point. So Donna fucked up. Like, Donna lost Rachel, and Donna spent the entire episode trying to find Rachel. She, kept calling Dick, and then Dick wasn't answering, and she was like, come on. She ended up going to certain places, retracing steps, because she was on hunt. Because I guess she figures, like, look, Rachel left with me. The girl's gone. It's my responsibility. I got to find her. So she didn't call any of the other Titans. She just repeatedly kept calling Dick, and Dick wasn't answering. And then it's like, obviously he's not answering because he's in prison. But if you think about it, why would he answer? Because you kind of stormed out on him and cursed him out, when he told you the Slade story. Raven ended up at a homeless shelter again, because that's where she was in season 1. She ended up at a homeless shelter. She met this other girl. They ended up becoming like kind of cool with each other. The girl had, I don't know if that was like her brother, her boyfriend, her father, but there was some abusive person that came into the homeless shelter that yoked up her friend, dragged her outside, and was like, yo, we're out of here. Rachel, because she was struggling with her powers, like the whole thing, like Rachel kept saying like her powers are trying to take over. So she felt bad because like the girl, she was like, I don't want the girl to get hurt. So Rachel goes outside, the dude he ends up arguing with the girl. He goes to like, give her the backhand, and then Raven comes out of nowhere. She grabs him by the arm using her powers, and then she lifted him up against the wall. The guy got scared and he bounced. So the girl was just like, wow, like that's really cool. And then, like, thanks. She was like, you saved me, blah, blah, blah. But apparently the residual, like the residual leftovers of her powers, because she used like that purple mist. And I guess like the purple smoke that Rachel uses was fueled by her anger to scare this dude. But after Rachel turned the powers off, there was like a residual purple smoke that was left over, and obviously that residual purple smoke still has the desire to hurt people in it. It ended up like infusing itself into a gargoyle that was on top of the homeless shelter, and then because the intention of the smoke was to hurt that dude, the smoke took over, the gargoyle came to life, and then the gargoyle swooped down and crushed the guy and killed him. Which was kind of cool actually to see that. So Donna shows up at the crime scene. She immediately knows, she's like, oh, this is Rachel. So now she's really freaking out, and she's like, yo, Dick, call me back. She was like, Dick first, Rachel was gone. I just needed your help trying to find her, but now this bitch is going rogue. She, Dick, call me back. And Donna's freaking out. And again, she's not asking any of the other Titans for help, I guess because everybody quit. So she was like, if everybody quit, why? But she didn't call Corey either. It's like, why not call Corey? But I digress. So, Rachel ends up going back to like the homeless shelter girl, I guess like she was staying in like an abandoned apartment or an abandoned building. And the abandoned building was full of other homeless girls. Like there were other like stray girls that were living in the apartment. So Rachel now has a friend of, a la Peter Pan, like he had his lost boys. Rachel now has her group of lost girls that she's befriended and that she hangs out with. But more on Donna in a second. So Gar finally decided to put his big boy pants on, and first he was at the tower. And actually, let me go back to Donna for a second, because again, like I said, throughout this whole Rachel situation, even when she found out Rachel killed somebody, Donna never went back to the tower. She kept calling Dick. She never actually went back to Titan's tower, and for some reason, there was no thought in her mind that maybe if Dick's not answering, I should just go to the tower. Superboy earlier, he was with his dog and he told his dog to go away because he was like, listen, Lex Luthor's after me. I don't want you to get hurt. And he sent the dog off, and the dog basically bounced. The dog was smart enough to go to Titan's tower. So the dog rung the damn doorbell. Beast Boy answered the door, and the dog led Beast Boy back to Connor. The dog knew to go to the tower, and Donna's roaming the streets, calling Dick, trying to find out, where Rachel is. So anyway, Gar, he finds Gar and the dog. They find Crypto. They find Superboy. They talk him down. He brings him back to the tower. Mercy earlier in the episode, Mercy was on I guess a couple's family date, because she has a daughter, her girlfriend has a daughter. So I guess like they both had husbands at some point, had bad experiences, and decided to be lesbians because those kids didn't look adopted. Like it's not like they were I didn't get the impression that they were just two lesbians that adopted two kids. Those actually look like their kids. So yeah. So Mercy's in her family time's interrupted because LexCorp was like, yo, go get Superboy. So I don't know how she got in, but Mercy and the gang like they busted into Titan's tower. Gar ended up transforming into the Tiger, took out some people. Superboy fought some people, but in the end, Mercy ended up talking Superboy down because she was just like, look, the white girl who he kept calling mom, she was like, oh, we know where she is, and then he put his guard down, and then they basically talked him into going back to, I guess, was it Cadmus? Yeah, I think it was Cadmus. They ended up talking him into going back to Cadmus, and because Mercy saw Gar turn into a tiger, she was like, yo, take the green dude with her. So they got they took Superboy, they took Gar back to Cadmus. Donna then shows up at Titan's tower when it's too late. There's broken glass everywhere, blood everywhere, and she thinks something happened to Dick because when she left, Dick was the only person in the tower, and now there's blood all over the place. And it's like, see, your ass should have just went to the tower from the beginning. The damn dog did it. I don't know why you didn't do it. So, yeah, they're back at Cadmus. Superboy's locked up somewhere. Mercy's talking to the Cadmus scientist. Mercy has a conversation with Gar directly. She's like, hey, listen, we can do more for you than just turn you into a tiger. And then Gar's like, look, woman, the only thing I want to do is be a Titan. I don't want to be nothing else but a Titan. And she was just like, and then she went back to the doctor. She was like, yo, maybe we can help him with that. And I think whatever's suppressing Beast Boy into him, well, see, he turned into a snake. So he has the ability to turn into multiple animals, but there's some sort of like mental block where he only turns into a tiger. And then there was the one episode where he turned into a snake, but they're going to unleash, I think they're going to unleash something within him. They're either going to control him, mind control him, or they're going to unleash something in him that will allow him to turn into multiple animals. Maybe they'll give him the suit that allows him to like transform and still keep his clothes on. So like that would actually be pretty nice. And that's how they ended it. She just, it ended with Mercy telling the doctor, like, yo, let's do something to unleash this kid's power. And that was it. Like I said, it was really, like I said, it was kind of a filler episode, like it was just to get us along to the next, to the next thing. It was the whole point of it was basically like Gar has something to do now. Like we moved along the Superboy Gar situation. Nothing really happened with Rachel. I mean, I could have put that in the last episode, but it was also just to do the Nightwing tease. So Nightwing's on the horizon. But like I said, wasn't the greatest episode, but it didn't suck. Like we're getting to where we need to be, and that was pretty much it. So in the next episode, we'll see what happens. Based on the photo that I saw, I think Raven. Well, Corey's got to come back because she told Dick she was leaving to go handle some business, and that business is over. So when Corey comes back and she finds out shit is fucked, Corey's gonna bust Dick out of prison. So I don't see Dick staying in the jail, that long. So that was it. That was my Titans review. I got my Arrow reviews up on the channel. Supergirl, Batwoman, Black Lightning's back this week, so I'm gonna do the video for that. So check it out. Leave a comment, like, and or subscribe. And until next time, as always, I'm out this bitch.